Right then, guys, so we're just going to have a little chat now about some of the Boro players that have featured this season. We've already had one feature already, which AJ's done on John Obi Mikel.
The Africans are done.
Yeah, this time we're going to look at somebody a little bit closer to home, not quite Africa, but Newton Aycliffe. We're talking Lewis Wing tonight. We're going to talk about the impact he's had on the Boro's season. Now, a little over 2 years ago, he was playing Northern League football for Shildon. Last year he was out on loan for Yeovil, and he played. He actually played against Man United in the FA Cup for Yeovil while he was on loan there. But I still think at the start of the season, people wouldn't have predicted the impact he's had on Boro's season. Came off the bench in the opening game at Millwall, and since then things have just snowballed, haven't they, mate?
Yeah, no, absolutely have. And like I say, that first game against Millwall will always be one of the highlights of the season, won't it? It was absolutely man. But see, he came on, Tav came on, Fletcher came on.
Yeah, the three of them came on. We were 2-0 down.
It was funny because they were probably the only three players apart from Tav. Well, I'd say Fletcher and Wing. Where most people saying, "Oh, these are rubbish, get these off." But then what happened? Do you know what happened? So Lewis Wing's only coming on leaps and bounds, and I do fear that if we don't go back up to the high sort of league, being the Premier League, a big team's going to come in for him.
I tend to agree with you there, mate, because he's had a really consistent season when he's played, and he's put in some high quality performances. That first month of the season, he was probably one of our best performers, and we went on a great run, didn't we? We won at Bristol City, we beat West Brom,
Sheffield
United, Birmingham, all those teams we beat.
Yeah.
And he was a major part of that, wasn't he?
Unreal. I remember Bristol City away when he bossed it, the midfield, he absolutely hammered it. And then he gets dropped and he come out and said, "Oh, apparently he's tired." And I thought, that's rubbish. He ain't tired. He's just... I don't think he had the faith in him. And I think you saw it in sort of Down in them players. And now he sort of looks like switched. Yeah. Whereas Down sits on the bench, comes on, he tries to make an impact. But the future is, I said before, the future is inside the kids.
And I think I can understand why Tony Pulis maybe brought him and Tav out for a while, Lewis Wing, because, like you say, young lads, they can be a little bit inconsistent. But when they were brought out the side, our performances did dip a little bit, didn't they? And our results suffered.
Got worse.
And like you say, then the fans, more and more fans were starting to get on the bandwagon saying, "Where's Wing? Where's Tav? When are these lads going to get brought back in?" And he came back in again round about October time, and I remember he scored a fantastic goal against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. Great goal, wasn't it?
And one against, was it Peterborough?
Peterborough in the FA Cup, he scored another great
Absolute
one.
Banger, like I say, and that's why I was saying just then off camera, I watched it on the Monday Night Show. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. But yeah, that's why I was saying that when Alston had the ball on the edge of the box, play him in because he's on the edge of the box, you know exactly what he's going to do. Yeah. You know, but that's I say that's my only fear with Lewis Wing is that he's an absolutely fantastic player at the age of 24. I think he's 25, and I do feel that if you don't go up, mate, eventually, and it ain't just him. I do think the likes of Tav will leave. You could have the likes of Randolph, who's still got plenty of time in his locker. So I do fear, and I think if we do lose these kids that have well, listen, I know he's not come through the academy, but he's still a young player.
Local lad, Look
what's happened over the years when Boro's lost these key young players. Yeah. They've gone on to better things, and we've kind of suffered from it. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I like about him as well, not just the long-range goals. I think I like the way his awareness. When he gets the ball, he'll take a quick look up and he'll pick a pass. Yeah. We've mentioned on the show before, he reminds me very much, and I'm not saying he is that player, but he reminds me very much of a Steven Gerrard type player who'll pick a pass and he can knock it 30-40 yards, switch the play, and I think he's a great, potentially a really good footballer. And like you say, I think he's going to go on to bigger and better things, 100%. Hopefully with the Boro in the next few years.
You hope so.
But like you say, I mean, he's just got great awareness. The goal he scored at Birmingham City where he got on the end of the ball into the box, he's just got everything. He's a really good midfield player.
In that game, he's just straight through the middle of two defence. Nobody's seen that pass coming. Apart from Lewis Wing, he knew exactly what he was doing, set him off on a run, and there he is.
And this is a lad that's played league football for less than 2 years, and arguably he's got to be up there for being one of our best players this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I say, he's definitely a contender. Him and Dan Randolph for me stand out names straight away. Absolutely, 100%.
I wouldn't disagree, mate.
Like I say, how many times he set up a goal, Lewis Wing, and how many times he kept goals from not going in, Dan Randolph. So Lewis Wing, he's absolutely terrific, and like I say, man, he's only going to get better. Yeah.
Well, I know people have been critical in the past, and I think we've both been critical in the past of Boro's recruitment policy. But to pick up a lad like that in the Northern League, hey, there might be one or two out there as well that could make us an absolute fortune. Might be hope for you. There's no hope for me, mate.
Still up for me. Listen, it's still up. Well, you never know. You never know. A late sort of centre back or Southgate kind of role. You don't know these things. But no, like I say, but in these sort of Northern leagues, I think that's what these young, talented players are.
He's a hungry lad, isn't he? I think that's what you get with lads there that maybe didn't make it when they were 17, 18, and they had to have a few setbacks and knockbacks, and he's come back, and you can see how much he wants to do well in every game. You don't see very few below par performances from Lewis Wing, do you? He's
No,
always
100%.
involved, and he's always contributes to the game every week, doesn't he?
It was only Saturday whereabouts we said, didn't we, whereabouts he was a little bit...
I thought he was maybe a little bit tired, but
so was
but I
everyone.
thought first half he was involved in a lot of the good stuff we did,
Yeah.
but maybe he ran out of a little bit of steam in the second half. But again, like you say, relatively new to playing week in, week out in the Championship. He's probably played more games this season than he's ever played before at this level, definitely. And maybe it caught up with him a little bit on Saturday, but like I say, he brings so much to the team, doesn't he?
You'd think he's been playing it all his career. You really would. At the age of 24, you'd think Lewis Wing's been in that Championship all his career, because like I say, man, he's only been in it, 2 seasons, maybe even less than that.
Yeah.
Hardest league, let's have it right, in the world, I'd say. It's
a tough
probably
league.
the most competitive.
Yeah.
And like I say, he's just adapted to it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, and every time he gets a ball, he's confident, doesn't look sort of pressured by anyone.
No.
And I say there, man, if someone was at him, he's 40 past him, the ball's gone, and it was 1-0 to Boro, like, so.
No, he has, so fingers crossed, mate. Hopefully he'll have something to celebrate at the end of the season, which I'm sure he'll get like Player of the Year awards, Young Player of the Year awards at the Boro, but hopefully a promotion to go with it. He'll be a Premier League player. Imagine that going from Northern League to Premier League
that
within
would be
3
insane,
years.
that.
Be something, that.
But, I mean, listen, man, I have to make a film on him.
Yeah.
I will happily play Lewis Wing. I don't mind.
I don't know if he'll be happy about that.
Yeah, listen, Lewis, right? I talked to JC and Dad and have a bit of negotiation and see what happens.
But fingers crossed, that's where he heads to, because I think one day he will end up in the Premier League.
That is a dream come true for him, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he does get to go to the Premier League, to play at home sort of stadiums as well.
Yeah.
They're probably the kind of stadiums where he dreamed of playing at when he was at Shildon.
Yeah.
And then overly with absolutely no disrespect.
Yeah. Like you say.
Do you know what I mean? But obviously when he played Man United in the Cup, he must have thought to himself, I wish this was Old Trafford. I wish I was playing there. One of them, isn't it? But like I say, he's come on leaps and bounds.
And if nothing else, credit to the lad for dealing with the setbacks, and he's a good example to other young lads out there that maybe don't make it initially, and he goes on to have a good career, which I'm sure he will do.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Well done, Lewis Wing. Hopefully you're going to have many good seasons with the Boro.
Up and coming legend.
Yeah.